wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I am Luffi Karimah, and in this video I will tell you about the test analyze the pedagogical and biology terms in English from the video. I found some biology terms like sponge, osculum, cnidarians, tentacle, polyp, mollusk, worms, flatworms, phylum, planarian, parasitic, coelomates, platyhelminthes, tripoblastic, endoderm, mesoderm, ectoderm, digestive system, and organism. Okay, I will tell you about my analysis pedagogical. The first, teacher have mastered the characteristic of student from all aspects. This can be seen from the teacher who can conduct the class well, like when the teacher asks, remember cnidarians? How do they act? How do polyps act? Teacher confuse student to answer the question. Go ahead and do it. I know you remember, tell us. When the teacher sees only a few students answer, then the teacher tries to raise the student spirit by asking to do or re-answer. The second, teachers have developed their own curriculum. The presentation of learning in the class has been very controlled. Students can be seen interactive with the teacher. This can be seen in the structured way teacher teaches, starting from opening class, presentation by groups, re-explaining the material, making worms from plasticine. The third, teacher also facilitate the development of student potential, such as teacher asking students in charge of this week presentation to come forward explain the poster. In the poster, there is an example of a flatworm like as planarian. The fourth, communicate effectively, empathically, and politically, just like the teacher give appreciation, like a student can answer his question, say good job for you, or when the student done making worms out of plasticine, the teacher said very nice worm, Samantha. And the last, perform reflective action. This can be seen from the way teacher repeat difficult sentence in biology, like as tripoblastic, platyhelminthes, endoderm, mesoderm, ectoderm, and a few other words. I will review of learning in the video. At the beginning of learning, the teacher opened the class by inviting students to recall the material. The teacher asked, remember we talked about sponge? Who remember what we said about the way sponge eat? After that, the teacher saw that only some of students answered. Then the teacher tries to raise the student spirit by asking to do or re-answer. The teacher say, let's do that. The water goes in through the pores out through of osculum. Teacher also give appreciate such as good job for you. Then about cnidarians, the teacher tries to remind students of this material, saying, remember cnidarians, what did the teacher, you remember cnidarians, how do they act, how do the polyp act? The teacher confused the student to answer question. Go ahead and do it, I know you remember, tell us. After making sure the student remember the previous material, after which the teacher goes into the material, the teacher said, today we are going to talk about what's the next film we are going to talk about. Who remember? Any student answer mollusk, but not mollusk, and the cnidaria, but not cnidaria, because they talk about this already. After that, the teacher say, "We are talk about worms today." The teacher asked a few questions to find out the student initial knowledge about worms, like raise your hand if you ever had a worm in your hand, raise your hand if you ever seen worms after the rain, raise your hand if you have even eaten worms. After that, the teacher asked the student in charge of this week's presentation to come forward to explain the poster. In the poster, there is an example of a platform like a planarian. Then the student make a presentation. Worms are classified in many different phylum. Worms have a more complex structure than sponges. The more well-known members of the phylum are the parasitic tapeworm and flux, which cause diseases in human. Platform range its size from 1 millimeter to several meters. Platform as a salamander. After that, the teacher re-explained the material. So let's talk about our flatworms. Teacher also asked, how do you spell platyhelminthes? The advantage that teacher have by asking students to repeat the biology terms that are difficult to memorize, such as now our first group, the presentation told us that we had 3 cell layers. So there are 3 problastic. Everybody said 3 problastic. Inside cell layer was called endoderm, the middle layer a mesoderm, and outside layer is ectoderm. After that, the teacher asked the student to make flatworm with 3 layers using plasticine, endoderm red, mesoderm blue, and the derm yellow. Then the teacher checked the result of the student works and praises one of the students. Very nice worm, Samantha. And then B. Platyhelminthes. Learning in this video is very enjoyable. I love learning like this. I think it's enough from me. Thank you very much. See you.